Hello, my name is Stephen Alff and welcome back to AlffBooks, and today we're here to do a tag. Today's tag is the A to Z book survey tag, and I'm really looking forward to doing this. And just before we start, I want to do a Q&A video in the near future, so if you have any questions you would like to ask, absolutely everything and anything, just put it down below in the comments. I look forward to seeing what crazy questions you may come up with. I was tagged by Fluffy Bookbug. Thank you for tagging me. It's time to do the tag. Author you've read the most books by. Well, the author that I have read the most books by, if you count everything including mangas, is Tite Kubo, who is the author of the Bleach series. I've read 61 of his mangas. Now, if we don't count mangas, then the next author in line is Enid Blyton with 41 books. Best sequel ever. Now, the first book that jumped to mind, because I read it not too long ago, was The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Absolutely fantastic book. I mean, the first book was already amazing, and then the second book was even better. And I just can't wait for the next book in this series. Currently reading House of Hades by Rick Riordan, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, To Hold the Bridge by Garth Nix. Drink of choice while reading, water, because at least with water I don't have to worry about coffee stains or destroying books, or, you know, even dry water, and it's just that simple. So water. E-reader or physical book? Well, the fact that I don't own an e-reader kind of answers that question. Fictional character you probably would have gone out with in high school. I thought about this for a little, and it wasn't that complicated, I guess. You know, in Harry Potter, that character called Luna Lovegood. Glad you gave this book a chance. This book for me is Old Goriot by Honoré de Balzac. This author is really interesting and one of my favourite authors, and I really am happy that I gave that book a chance, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have discovered the beautiful intricacy of this classic and how it's just written, and the vocabulary choice that the author makes is just fantastic, and the story building, the character development, a work of art, really. Hidden gem book. Well, this is definitely for me the Everland series by Pierre Bottero. I absolutely love his books, and I mean, as a hidden gem I would actually say all of his books that I've read up till now, they have been so good. They are so good. He's a brilliant author, and I really love reading his books. They just transport you into a different world. Important moment in your reading life. Well, back to the same author, Pierre Bottero. Discovering him, reading his first book that I actually have here behind me on the shelf, Dans mon allôtre, was given to me in first year of secondary school as a birthday present, and I absolutely love the book. I've read it not long after I got it, and it really tipped the balance for my favourite genre, being fantasy now, because that book is fantasy. It also tipped the balance in terms of what I write, why I write, how I write. It did so much for my development in terms of my reading and writing habits, and just world building. It just gave me so much insight into fantasy. Just finished. This is the last book that I finished. This is Hidden Enemy by Pittacus Lore. It was really interesting. The short stories in here really give you an extra kind of background on two of the characters specifically that are in the story, and that you really do want to know a bit more about, because they mention them and you would like to know, hey, where are they coming from, because that doesn't make sense, or why would they actually do that? So yeah, very interesting. Kind of books you would never read. Well, books like 50 Shades of Grey are not on my priority list of books that I would read. Longest book you've read? Well, this is Eldest, which is in the Inheritance series, written by Christopher Paolini. Major book hangover because of Dead Poets Society by Nancy H. Kleinbaum. Number of bookcases you own? Well, I currently don't own any bookcases. No, the bookcase behind me is not mine, and I know in any of my other videos none of the bookcases are actually mine. They have books on them that belong to me, but that's about it. I have 2 boxes that I can say I own that are full of books, but yeah, I don't have any bookcases. One book that you have read multiple times? Well, we come back to this book that's behind me, D'un monde à l'autre de Pierre Bottero, and that is the book that I've read the most times. I've read it probably 4 times, which is not a huge amount if you think about how many times some people reread books, but it's enough. I'm happy with that. Preferred place to read? Bed. Quote that inspires you, gives you all the feels from a book you've read. Well, the following quote is in French. I will translate it approximately after that, but I will give it to you in the original language first. It is from the 7th book in the Latin world. Let's see what it is. N'oublie jamais, celui qui croit savoir n'apprend plus. Never forget, him who believes he knows learns no more. Reading regret. Yes, there are books that I hated, but they forged me as a reader, as a writer, and most of all, as a person. I don't want to qualify any experience as something I regret, as I'm happy with who I am. Series you started and have to finish. This would be one of many, The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. 3 of your all-time favourite books. Now, because I've mentioned books before, I would like to mention 3 new books that I haven't mentioned yet. Sabriel by Garth Nix, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Unapologetic Fangirl 4, The Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. Very excited for this release more than any others. Well, I found out that a sequel to the Old Kingdom series was going to come out at some point, even though there's no release date out yet. It's on its way, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's going to be about and what's going to happen in it. And I just really want to dive back into that world. Worst bookish habit. Well, I usually have an absolutely ridiculous currently reading pile, and yeah, I mean, it's just, I usually have a dozen books on my currently reading pile, at least. X marks the spot. Start at the top left of your shelf and choose the 27th book. This is the 27th book, Luck's Beginnings, so it's Obsidian Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Your latest purchase, The Watchmaker of Filigree Street by Natasha Pulley. Sleep Snatcher book, the last book that kept you up way too late. For me, that would be the last book in the Acclimatation series by Pierre Bottero and Eric Lum. This is a French series that I read not too long ago. Stayed up until 7 or 8 a.m. So that brings us to the end of these questions. It was pretty fun to go through this and to answer these questions. And now it is time to tag a few people. That Kate Person, Imaginary Oldness, Sarah Ella, Jix Books, Novels and Nonsense, The Book Leo, and The Mile Long Bookshelf. I really look forward to seeing your videos, and if anyone else has done this tag, just let me know down below. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have to say to these questions. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you all next Friday. That's all from me. Bye.